The night I lost my baby, I also lost the man I thought would protect me. And that night, I met someone who showed me what real love looked like, even if it came from a stranger, covered in rain and siren light. My name is Emily, and this isn't a story about tragedy, it's about awakening. I was 28 when I met Ryan, a charming real estate agent who knew exactly how to make a woman feel special. He was confident, ambitious, the kind of man who ordered for you at restaurants and opened every door with a smile. Within a year, he convinced me to move into his sleek downtown apartment. "We're a power couple," he'd say, kissing my forehead. I believed him. Until I got pregnant. When I told him, I expected joy. Instead, he froze mid-bite at dinner and said flatly, "That's fast." I laughed nervously. "It's not a disease, Ryan. It's a baby." He smiled weakly. "Right, just maybe we should wait before telling anyone." I brushed it off, thinking he was just shocked. But over the next weeks, his affection faded. No more morning coffee together, no soft words at night. He began staying late at work meetings, and when he was home, his phone never left his hand. One stormy evening, around my 10th week, I felt a sharp pain in my lower stomach. Deep, tearing, wrong. I called out to him, "Ryan, something's not right." He was on the couch, scrolling through his phone. "It's probably stress, Em. Lie down." The pain intensified. My vision blurred. "Ryan, please, I need a hospital." He sighed, annoyed. "You're overreacting. I'll call in a bit. I've got an offer closing." Then the world went black. When I woke, cold and dizzy on the bathroom floor, there was blood. Too much of it. Panic seized me. I tried to reach him, but he was gone. His car keys were missing. I crawled to my phone and dialed 911. My voice shook. "Please, please hurry." Within minutes, red and blue lights painted the walls. The EMT who burst in was a tall man with storm-damp hair, eyes full of calm focus. His name tag read L. Carter. "Emily, right?" he said gently. "Stay still. We've got you." He lifted me carefully, his gloved hands firm but kind. "Where's your partner?" I tried to speak, but only managed a whisper. "He left." Carter's jaw tightened, but he said nothing. He just covered me with his jacket as they carried me through the rain. In the ambulance, my tears wouldn't stop. I lost it. My baby. Carter knelt beside me, checking vitals. "You didn't lose everything," he said quietly. "You're still here." Then softer, "If she were mine, I'd hold her." Those words pierced deeper than any pain in my body. Not because they came from pity, but because they carried something I hadn't felt in months. Care. At the hospital, I was admitted overnight. The doctors confirmed what I already knew. My baby was gone. Ryan arrived 2 hours later, smelling like whiskey. "Em, you scared me," he said, kissing my forehead like nothing had happened. I looked at him, eyes swollen. "Where were you?" He hesitated. "Out. I needed air." "You left me bleeding on the floor," I whispered. He frowned. "Stop being dramatic. You know how emotional you get." Something in me shattered. I turned my face away. He sighed. "I'll grab coffee." He left. He didn't come back that night. The next morning, as I was discharged, I saw Carter by the nurse's station. He smiled gently. "You doing okay?" I nodded. "Better, thanks to you." He shrugged modestly. "Just doing my job." Then he handed me a small folded note. "If you ever need to talk or just need someone who listens." Inside was his number. For weeks, I tried to rebuild. Ryan acted as if nothing had happened, except he grew colder. He started calling me needy, telling friends I was still hung up on the miscarriage. When I found out he'd been texting another woman, I confronted him. He smirked. "You've been depressed. I needed space." That night, he told me to move out by the end of the month. I packed in silence. Each box felt like burying another piece of myself. Then one night, I found an envelope tucked in his drawer, a mortgage document. It listed my name as a co-signer. My stomach twisted. He'd used my credit and my savings account as part of his property deal, without asking. I confronted him. "You used my information?" He shrugged. "It's joint income. Don't make a big deal. You should be grateful. It's an investment." That was the last line. I wasn't broken anymore. I was angry. I moved out quietly the next morning, taking nothing but my documents and my laptop. I called a lawyer friend from college and explained everything. She said, if she forged any part of your signature, you can legally freeze the asset. 2 weeks later, Ryan's world began to crumble. The deal he'd bragged about fell through when the bank flagged the fraudulent paperwork. His investors pulled out. He called me, furious. "What did you do?" I answered calmly. "I protected myself. Something you should have done before lying." He cursed, then shouted, "You'll regret this." I smiled. I already did. Once. And hung up. Life after him was quieter. Lonelier, but peaceful. I started therapy, took long walks, and found small joys again. Occasionally, Carter texted to check in. We'd meet for coffee, nothing romantic, just warmth. He had the kind of presence that made silence feel safe. Once during a walk, he said, "Sometimes we meet people who remind us what we deserve." I smiled faintly. "Then maybe you were my reminder." Months passed. I rebuilt my life from scratch. New apartment, new job. Ryan, meanwhile, had lost nearly everything. His company reputation tanked after word spread about his unethical deals. I didn't spread it. Karma did. Then one afternoon, I got a call from an unknown number. It was Ryan's mother. Her voice trembled. "Emily, he's in the hospital. Heart attack. He's asking for you." My breath caught. For a moment, I felt that old ache. Then quietly, I said, "I'm sorry. I can't," and hung up. That night, I sat by my window, rain pattering softly outside, the same kind of rain from that night. My phone buzzed. It was Carter. He texted, "Rough night?" I replied, "Just remembering." He wrote back, "Then let me give you something new to remember." A few minutes later, he arrived downstairs with takeout and 2 coffees. We sat on my couch, eating in silence. Then he looked at me, not with pity, but pride. "You walked through hell and came out stronger. You didn't need anyone to save you." I swallowed hard, but you showed me I still mattered. He smiled. "That's what people do when they care." Over the next year, our friendship deepened. He never rushed me, never pushed. When I finally opened my heart again, it wasn't out of loneliness, it was out of trust. One evening, as we watched the sunset bleed across the city's skyline, I whispered, "You once said, if she were mine, I'd hold her." He looked at me softly. "I remember." I took his hand. "I think you can now." Years later, I still visit the small memorial stone I placed under a willow tree for the baby I lost. Sometimes Carter comes with me. He never says much, just holds my hand. Once, I found him whispering, "You changed her life, little one." I think he was right. Because sometimes, heartbreak doesn't end you. It wakes you up. It shows you who deserves your tears and who never did. When people ask me if I ever got revenge on Ryan, I tell them this: he taught me what not to accept. That's revenge enough. And every time I hear sirens in the distance, I remember that rainy night when a stranger knelt beside a broken woman and said the words that rebuilt her. If she were mine, I'd hold her.